Hello everybody, welcome back. It's JudiciousFire, and I am here with the new dragon in Castle Clash. This is a how-to guide on the new dragon Dynamica. I think that there are a couple of tips and tricks that we should discuss as a community as a whole, and also try to work into our own specific builds on our own accounts. That's what happens when a new dragon gets introduced. Really any new hero, but especially with the dragons in this game. They have such varied dynamics that it's a good idea to get a discussion going. That'll be the point of today's video. Please hit the subscribe button. Let's keep stuff like this going. I want to take a look at Dynamica and a few ways that we can use the current system to get the best Dynamica that we possibly can. Quick word, there's always some blowback from the community when it comes to a new hero that has been introduced that is super strong. Castle Clash is a dynamic concept, and it is constantly changing and evolving. 1 month we have a hero like this that is basically unbeatable, and then the next month there's a hero that counters that hero. Castle Clash is about the long game. We're now going on to almost 7 years. So if you look back to the day when Ares was first introduced, I mean, he broke the game according to some old school players, just changed the game dynamics completely. And that has continued that pattern. This is the effects of a power creep cycle, as well as one-upping the last hero that was introduced. Only 7 colors in the rainbow. Eventually you have to repeat yourself. This time it's got to be a little bit bolder, a little bit more vivid, a little bit brighter, a little bit more of an impact. That's kind of the effect of power creep. I would suspect within the next couple of months of hero releases, we will have epic heroes that will be able to counteract this dragon. And if we want to fast forward now to 1 year from now, the new dragon will make this dragon look like a weakling. So that's the way Castle Clash goes. Let's take a look at this hero and some of his weaknesses, some of his downfalls, and ways that we can stop that from happening. Let's jump into an attack or two. I'm going to be purposefully running my Dynamica in what I think is a bad build to show you what it's going to do in terms of negatively impacting him. This is all attack. I've got War God. I've got an Unholy Pact insignia. I have a Hyper Strength 7. I have a damage dealing and attack boosting pet. The man is up to almost 120,000 base attack. Let's see how he does. Okay, I'm going to be using my friend's base, Bubblegum Jelly, Fabled. It's one of our top Archdemon players, Warden players, Here Be Monsters players. I want you to see what happens to Dynamica when I'm running all attack. This is like a kid in a candy store where you just see all this attack and you're like, oh, I want it. And now all of a sudden, this is what happens. Watch. He's dead. He's dead the second I drop him on the board. He is dead as a result of many things. One, there's a Warden system that's hitting him. Bubblegum Jelly's Warden system is blasting poor Dynamica. 2, you've got heroes on the board that are set to auto proc and to auto fire the moment I drop my guy on the board. And 3, because he has all attack and he's boosted so much in terms of attack, he has no reflect or deflect mitigation that you would get from, say, a Wicked Armor or a Dragon's Cover. Let's take a look at one more thing. Okay, we're going to run him in AK. I got my AK time down to 1 minute and 20 seconds. We're going to run him in AK, all alone. Watch really carefully at the start of AK. You will see him hit with one shot, and he'll be killed. Instantly killed, okay? Okay, now we look at the build of Unholy Pact, War God, but now I've changed the Hyper Strength to a Victory Lunge. And it's going to be at level 7, giving him 20% reflect. I've also put Cold Drake on him, giving him 18% reflect. Let's see if reflect, very much like a Flame Guard, let's see if that can keep him alive. He's dead the moment I drop him on the board. Okay, we're taking on Boss Lady's base. And all of these attacks and experiments I've done 10 times, okay? I'm just showing you the result of one. I'm not basing my conclusion on one attack or one scenario. I'm just giving you the example. Here we are on Boss Lady's base. Now I'm trying a Flame Guard setup and Deflect setup. I've got a Flame Guard 10 on him. I've got Victory Lunge 7 for even more deflect, more reflective damage. We've got also a Cold Drake. All of these are creating a hero that is, essentially not taking any damage. But what will happen is when this game begins to put out more epic heroes, and those heroes will be able to do real damage against the guy, we're going to see that a deflection build might be a liability for the man. He can be silenced, and that silencing effect is good for the first 50% of his health. So his deflect could be taken away from him, leaving him with just health, the health bonus from Flame Guard. So Flame Guard, I would put probably a deflect build. I would probably put mid-tier. It's really working well now, but I think it will catch up with us and be a liability as soon as we start to see some more epic heroes released. Currently, I think that it is important in how to build your dragon best. I think there's a reason for some damage reduction. You'd like to try to keep him from getting one-shotted, like in the Bogeyman example, or getting one-shotted by a Valiant Saintess to happen to get a lucky strike on the guy. Gonna want to have some kind of damage reduction. That can come through talent, insignia, or enchantment. For my preferred Dynamica build, I preferred to give him a Holy Conviction. Reason being, it gives you a really nice damage reduction. And if you want to work extra attack damage into the Dynamica build, do so in talent and insignia. You can get 190% extra damage done through an Unholy Pact. Whereas the best you're going to get with an enchantment is like 70% extra attack through, say, a hyper strength. So give the damage reduction to your enchantment. Put a Holy Conviction on the man. Gives him enough that he's not going to get one-shotted. It'll also give him a huge boost to his healing process. I think it is essential to have reflect and deflect mitigation. In the case of this Dragon's Cover, it's keeping reflect and deflect damage down to just 5,000 here at level 10. It's the same thing with Wicked Armor. Right now, the reflect and deflect, it might only occasionally kill him off. But we're going to see that as reflect and deflect capability of heroes begins to increase, and it constantly is, it's going to be enough to take him out. I really think that is an essential build. Let's take a look at a couple of the absolute essentials I would have on this guy. Okay, talents and insignias, if we want to look at it that way. These are the pros and cons. Dragon's Cover. Fantastic. We'll give him the needed damage reduction, as well as keeping reflect and deflect down. Here's the con to it. With that kind of a build, he is not going to necessarily have enough attack ability to kill off the Zephyricas, the Dovekeepers, and the Rambards. You've got to take out some of those heroes in a matter of a second or two in between heals and protection that they receive from teams. So if you're going to run Dragon's Cover, put an attack insignia on a guy to get his attack up, so he's actually able to take those heroes out in a couple of hits. Anything that involves healing, like a Vampiric Grail, great, but healing will only get you so far. It's not damage reduction. He can still be one-shotted, like in the Boogeyman example. Put a Sacred Light on him, or put a Dragon's Cover and use this as an insignia, or vice versa. So always pair up your healing with some damage reduction. Fiery Comet, good attack talent, but make sure he's got damage reduction with an insignia or with his enchantment, like a Holy Conviction enchantment. Same thing with Soul Healer. It's awesome health. It's great effects against the enemy. Pair it up with a Sacred Light or a Holy Conviction enchant, or something that's going to bring down the amount of damage he's going to take, like that Dragon's Cover, or maybe a Silent Cover. True Piety. True Piety, great, but again, it is not damage reduction, not in that sense. It's converting health. It's converting damage to health. So in the Bogeyman one-shot example, he gets hit one time, he's dead. He's not converting anything. It's not canceling the damage. Silent Cover, reducing damage by 70%. This is on par with a Holy Conviction enchantment. Now all of a sudden that 20 million Bogeyman strike that he took is being reduced by 70%. Now all of a sudden he's just taking some damage and he's not getting taken out. Put that now it's going to make a weaker Dynamica in terms of his attack ability. Pair that up with like a Wicked Armor 10. Boom, you've got a fantastic Dynamica. The Blade Dance. He does dodge very well. I went with an all accuracy build. Dynamica is not going to be worth anything if he's dancing around dodging. He's got to attack. He's got to hit. He's got to have accuracy. But you can make his assist system and all these other ways to upgrade him. You can give him lots of dodge. That works very well. But it's not damage reduction. It's extra attack, and it's going to increase his dodge. Put a Sacred Light on him. Vigorous Fury, fantastic. Put some damage reduction to match it up with. I'd stay away from stealth. I don't think it's very effective these days in this game. Got a lot of ways to counter that. Wicked Armor, an essential on the guy. Probably my go-to. I think it's probably the best basic build. Because you're going to need some way to mitigate reflect and deflect. And you're going to need some massive attack for the guy. So he doesn't time out. And he's actually able to hit that Rambard for a couple of million and take him out during the in-between heals. This is the trick. Friends, use this. Use it well, and love it. The best insignia you can get on the guy. You've got to have a Wicked Armor talent because he's going to be killing himself with a one-shot of reflect and deflect. But if you got a Wicked Armor, put an Oracle's Favor on this man. Who defends bases? Rambard, Rune Master, Dovekeeper, Zephyrica. All these white Warden, Saint Warden heroes. You give him that Wicked Armor and you give him an insignia of Oracle's Favor, and tell me that I'm not true. It's not that I'm lying. You open up one of those free level 10 bags from the Floating Isle, and what do you get? You get one of these. Okay, now it's useful. He has then the capability to just chop a Zephyrica with a one shot. Dovekeeper done. Rambard done. All of them done. But if you don't have Wicked Armor, he'll kill himself in the same process. So that's a little secret. I wouldn't be running as a talent because you just want to use it on occasion. If you're having trouble with the reds or the green heroes, you can use the other two. But I've found that the real bad guys in this game are of the White Warden, so you want to use that green Oracle's Favor. I think any kind of like a survival-based build that's just based on like healing and keeping the guy alive, that's great if you want to put a Doom Balloon on him. But do that with another hero. He's the ultimate hero-killing hero. A Vital Boon, great, but match it up with damage reduction from like a Sacred Light, or have a Holy Conviction, a Wicked Armor, and a Vital Boon. Wow. Zealous Drive, great blend. In fact, this is probably the best hero to put this talent on. Extra attack with damage reduction. Now do something different for the enchantment, and do something different with the insignia. Maybe put Wicked Armor insignia and put like Hyper Strength enchantment. Now you're pushing up the attack. Still give him a little bit of damage reduction and mitigation of reflect and deflect. Unholy Pact, fantastic. Put a Wicked Armor, run an Unholy Pact insignia. Now all of a sudden that global attack that he spits out has the power to just turn heroes to dust. But you got to have a Wicked Armor, or he's going to be turning himself to dust. Sacred Light, perfect talent to have. And then you can do anything that I've mentioned so far in terms of insignia. I found that the Brute Force is great. Wicked Armor and Brute Force get a huge, almost 300% in total attack boost. But also extra crit damage. My guy has a lot of crit through the way I've built him. So make sure to have his critical ability up. But again, be worried about reflect and deflect. Have a Wicked Armor in there. I think a Sharpen as an insignia is great. Push his accuracy and push his critical rate up. Others, you may as well use newer talents when it comes to some of these older ones. And Flame Guard, can work great right now in this game. But as we're starting to see, epic heroes are going to start to get released every month. You're going to have an epic hero that's able to silence that, counter that, send it right back into his face, basically negate the talent completely. If you got dealing with Phobos and Rippers, he can lose it, and he doesn't gain immunity until he's less than 50% health. So he gets silenced, he gets taken down to 65% health, he gets hit with a Valiant Saintist. He's dead. So be careful of that. And I think that'd be really about it. If you're building it right, you don't need a revive because he's going to die. For his traits, I went with all accuracy. He really is the quintessential epitome, pure definition of a hero killer. He's so good, though, that you could put anything on him and you're going to see a benefit. Not saying anything, the other ones are bad. I just see that as like a health build, you can get much more health from a pet with health traits. An attack build, you can get just as much attack with a pet that has attack traits. Crit damage. All of these things are good, but you're going to see that you're not actually hitting the enemy. Their dodge rate is too high, and you're not consistently hitting. So you're able to do massive damage against bots and things like that in the dungeons that have no brain. But against human opponents, you're not going to hit those heroes. The dodge build is interesting, and it will keep him alive, and he'll do very well against the computer and computer-based game modes. But he's not going to actually hit the bad guys. You have to account for the fact that people build their heroes with trait bonuses, just like this, and then they increase that even further with a pet. So you've got to get his accuracy up into the 20, 30,000s, etc. 30,000 would be perfect, okay? And you're not going to be missing anybody. Go with accuracy. Do the other things through pet traits. Accuracy is key. Otherwise, the guy's just dancing around like he's in a disco. Okay, let's get into some specifics here. Really want to point out a nice little trick that I was able to pick up and how that has affected my build on this guy. We are now at Relic level 24. My next step requires 2 copies of this guy. You're looking at essentially like 14 copies to take him up to max on this new system. And I need 2 of them for the next step. So not currently doing that. Was able to get 3 100% from the refined relic. It was easier than I had thought. I thought it would never come. It was like, I thought it would be like rolling on a double dodge. It was not as hard as I thought it was going to be. Take a look at his hero assist system. Let's see how that works and how it changes some of these numbers. For all of our epic heroes, Demon Stalker and Dynamica included, we're able to load 3 heroes into a hero assist system. It's like a garrison, a tower garrison. And it will give certain abilities, certain attribute boosts. This was pointed out by a viewer, Mike Zaniti. Big shout out to Mike. Thank you very, very much. Made a comment on the last video. And I went in there today and I checked out each of these abilities and attributes. And Mike, huge shout out and big help. He pointed out that if we change the insignias and we change the pets on the heroes that we choose to use in the hero assist system, that our attribute boosts will go up. They'll be increased dramatically. And I went through this whole system, and what you can do is the following. By changing the insignia and by changing the pet of these heroes, you can boost those attribute and statistic bonuses. Talent will not change it. And enchantment will not change it. So it is just pet and insignia. You see I have Levanica, Demogorgon, and Skeletica. Let's look at those heroes specifically. Okay, Levanica, doesn't matter what talent I choose. I've switched every one of these heroes back and forth, will not change the bonuses. Just insignia and my pet choice Only those 2 elements will have an impact. On the 3 heroes that I've placed into the Hero Assist program, I have put a stealth insignia. I'm not using these heroes. They're simply being garrisoned onto Dynamica. That stealth insignia runs the highest attack of any insignia that we have in the game. That is the only reason I'm using that. So I'm looking at the sword, 9340, and the health. If I want to reverse that and I want super health and low attack, I can do a defensive insignia and I'll get the reverse effect. I'm also using a very high attack pet. Let's look at the other heroes. Demogorgon, high attack pet. That's the trait that I chose to give attack for this pet. A stealth, again, just for the high attack bonus. And Skeletica, a pet with very high attack and another stealth. Not to use for this hero, but simply to add to the bonuses. Here's a real quick way to access this system. Any hero that you have inside of the Hero Assist system will get a little red and gold crystal in the lower left-hand corner. You press that. You're taken right to the Hero Assist system. You can see how the numbers that you're giving through this process that we're going through, how they change and start to augment his overall numbers for Hero Dynamica. And when we click on the hero or back out of it again, we're taken right back to the hero that we were looking at. So it's a good way not to have to shuffle through a whole bunch of screens. Just press the red and yellow button, go right to the assist system, press on the back out of it, and it'll take you right back to the hero altar with the hero that you were working on. Let's take a look at some numbers for Dynamica now. Okay, we see Dynamica. I put the Wicked Armor 10 back on the man. These 2 being my 2 preferred right now in the game. And doing opposite things of each other, 1 attack, 1 defensive. Then you can use any kind of insignia you want based on the situation. We are looking at final numbers. Now that we have garrisoned in the Hero Assist system, those 3 heroes, we've boosted up their insignias as high as we can get them, and the pets placed on those heroes as high as we can get them. Just the attack bonus on Dynamica alone is 100,000. He's got 120,000 attack. He has 2.3, 2.4 million health. 22,000 accuracy, nearly 12,000 dodge, and very high crit resist, and relatively decent crit damage. This is a build that is going to keep him alive and make him very, very effective. Yeah, I can boost that number, his attack, up even higher. And that'll be good against mindless bots and automaton enemies in the dungeons. Okay, yeah, I can clear insane 5-10, with an attack build, but not against human opponents. Let's see how this guy does. We're going to have the following. We're going to have a Wicked Armor. We're going to put on Holy Pact insignia on him. Huge insignia bonus, as well as that global auto proc or global attack, skill attack that he has is going to be high enough that he's actually able to take out heroes doing it that way. Also able to take out heroes up front when doing head-to-head attacks with them. I've got his attack boosted super high, and I've got a Holy Conviction on him, giving him a little bit of damage reduction so he doesn't get one-shotted by somebody. Let's see how he does. Let's go with everybody that we happen to just come up on the rating queue. Let's go with Sophiannon's base. You can see that he's taking damage. I've got that Unholy Pact on him, and yeah, he does take extra damage. Not past his damage cap, but during the first strike of battle. Now he'll start healing up and he'll be fine. And you're going to see all the guys on base just start to disappear. Let's go up here to the Zeph here and see what kind of damage he's going to be taking. Just through the global skill attack, not even through direct contact. And Zeph disappears. Unholy Pact, great insignia when paired up with Wicked Armor for a global skill activation that causes tremendous damage. Let's try Boss Lady's base. We tried Boss Lady a little earlier when we had that Flame Guard. And guys on base weren't dying off I wasn't dying off. We're just kind of hanging out with each other and having lunch. Let's see how he does. Look, Ripper's gone already. Let's see how he does now with that attack build and just a little bit of damage reduction with a Holy Conviction enchantment. He takes that initial real big hit from the Warden and from auto proc and all that kind of stuff. But once he starts healing up, he's basically invulnerable. A little bit of damage reduction, wicked armor, and now I can play around with the insignia and giving him so much attack. Look at this. All the bad guys on base just dying. Everybody. We have only one hero remaining, and that is Zeph up at the... There we go. Okay, let's try Pet Fed's base. I want to try a different kind of build, and I'll show you that in a second. You see that Boreal Fox was immediately killed. One hit. Done with Cosmo. Now let's look at Dove. Dove's out. Leaving just Zeph. Zeph's gone. Okay, it looks like we're starting to get through the Guardian troops that we were attacking. Now he should hit Rune Master any second with a strike. Rune Master's out. He was hitting for several million per hit. And Rune Master, even with his amazing capabilities, was unable to keep up with that. Oh, let's take a look at Rambard here. Same thing. Same strategy at work. Rambard only needs a second or two to heal up. I think we're hitting some love doves right now. Let's try to get back to hitting Rune Master. Only needs a second or two to heal up. You got to be able to hit him with enough damage dealing. He's dead. Damage dealing capability that you can take him out in maybe 2 hits. Okay? Otherwise, he's going to get that heal again. Real nice thing is some damage or some health suppression from something like a Malaise or even the new pet has health suppression. Does a really nice job. Oh, all the bad guys are dead. Except for our friends. Dove's gone too. All right. That was the following build. It's Wicked Armor. But that Oracle's favor against Saints. That's why I was targeting heroes that are Saint Warden heroes. The insignia that I have here, it does not transfer to his global skill activation. It is for basic attacks, hero to hero, front of his face, punching at him. Okay? So we looked at the Unholy Pact and how he just liquidated bad guys with the global auto proc. That transfers to them. Here, this is just his basic attack. So I was seeking out white Warden heroes and dropping them right up against them. Go Wicked Armor, go Dragon's Cover, go Sacred Light. Give him some damage reduction. Or put a Holy Conviction on him. And you can use any talents and insignias you want, as long as you are not dealing with reflect and deflect. Pick a Wicked Armor, a Holy Conviction, and do anything you want. Anything you want with the insignia. Look at that hero assist system. Jack them up with a whole bunch of really high level attack or high level health insignias. Give them the kind of pet bonuses that you choose based on what you choose to have on your pets. You have all dodge on your pets. Put those pets on the heroes that you put the hero assist on. All of a sudden, his dodge boosts up real high. Easily get this guy to 120,000. You want to get him to 130,000, you will be doing so at the cost of his longevity. And once they start putting out a couple more epic heroes, bye-bye Dynamica. He's going to get killed. So make sure you have a little bit of damage reduction on the guy. It's a hero that does a lot of things well. And there is no one build. And there is no one team. There is no one attack. It's always going to be a whole set of series and dynamics that are working in tandem with one another. I just hope that this helps us shed a little bit of light on this guy's build. This dragon is a game-changing addition to this game, but our game will change in order to accommodate for the new dragon. And balance will be sought and found once again. And then they'll introduce another thing that tips the balance. This is the cycle of Castle Clash. Hope your clashing is going well. We are having 2 spaces in our guild coming available. We are the #1 ranked guild on iOS. I've been a member of this guild for a long time now, and I want to just really say that this is an amazing guild. It is a home on the iOS server. If you are a high might player and you're interested in joining, please contact me through the Line app, JudiciousFire, exactly like my game name, and let me know. We are typically seeking players that are like 1.2 million and above. The higher your might, the better. But greatest impact is always going to be activity level. If you're an active player and you enjoy the game and you love talking this game, send me a message, and please do so as soon as you can, because the spaces end up filling up pretty quickly.